Here we just relay some facts,
whether they're new or antique.
So just sit back and relax.
It's time for What's Up This Week.
Hello, and welcome to What's Up This Week, your weekly dose of history, facts, and trivia from University Branch Library. This week is the anniversary of Pioneer 10 capturing and sending to Earth the first up-close images of Jupiter received on December 3rd, 1973. The NASA Pioneer program was a series of lunar and planetary space probe exploration running from the 1950s through the 1990s. Pioneer 10 was NASA's first mission to the outer planets. Originally designed for a 21-month mission to fly by Jupiter, Pioneer 10 lasted more than 30 years. It was launched on March 2, 1992 from Cape Canaveral, Florida. Between July 15, 1972 and February 15, 1973, it became the first spacecraft to traverse the asteroid belt. On November 6, 1973, from a distance of about 16 million miles, Pioneer 10 began taking pictures of Jupiter, testing the imaging and data retrieval systems. With the transmission successful, Pioneer 10 would spend the next 8 weeks maneuvering its way through the orbits of the many moons of Jupiter and sending images back to Earth of the planet and its surroundings. On January 1, 1974, Pioneer 10 ended its observation of Jupiter and began its interstellar mission. On June 13, 1983, it crossed the orbit of Neptune, becoming the first human-made object to leave the solar system. The final transmission was received on January 23, 2003. If you'd like to learn more about Jupiter and the space program, the library has a variety of materials available. That's what I have. What do you have for us this week, James?
Well, thank you, Daniel, and hello, everybody. So, a little history question to get things started. Here we go. Which of these British prime ministers is famous for using the term Iron Curtain to describe the Soviet Union's isolation policy after World War II? Is it A. Harold Wilson, B. Sir Winston Churchill, C. Stanley Baldwin, D. Margaret Thatcher, or E. None of the above? If you picked B, Sir Winston Churchill, then you are correct, and major kudos to you. Mr. Churchill is also the subject of this segment. He began life on November 30th, 1874 at Blenheim Palace in Oxfordshire, England. His father was Lord Randolph Churchill, a British leader in the Conservative Party, while his mother was Lady Churchill, also known as Jenny Jerome, the daughter of an American businessman. Winston was the older brother to Jack Churchill. Winston was also a poor student in boarding school, and though one might say Winston hit the progenitor jackpot, his actual relationship with his parents was decidedly lacking. In 1893, however, he attended the Royal Military College at Sandhurst to much success. Soon after graduation, with an avid interest in battle, Winston Churchill found himself reporting on the conflict between Cubans and their Spanish rulers. In the early 1900s, Churchill was elected to Parliament and began a family with his wife Clementine. In the succeeding years, he was an active participant in war as well as politics, and in 1940, some months after the United Kingdom entered World War II, Churchill became the Prime Minister of Britain. From there, he secured his particular place in world history. Of course, this is quite the truncated outline of a man that spent 90 years on Earth. So, to learn far more about Mr. Churchill's existence, simply request any of these extremely detailed biographies. Alright, Megan, what do you have for the folks this week?
Hi everyone! This week's weird thing is that December 5th is International Ninja Day. This is a day set aside to recognize the history of ninjas as well as their prominence in pop culture. Historically, ninjas were covert agents and mercenaries in feudal Japan. They specialized in espionage, deception, and surprise attacks. Their secretive methods were sometimes considered dishonorable compared to the noble samurai. The ninjas were recruited largely from the lower class, while the samurai came from the upper class. Much like the samurai, ninjas are born into the profession, with traditions passing down through the family. They are trained from childhood in fields like martial arts, survival and scouting techniques, poisons, and explosives. They must also learn how to run long distances, swim, climb, and move about stealthily. Ninjas were employed by feudal lords to act as spies, scouts, raiders, and agitators, among other things. They were very busy during times of war, but when things calmed down, there wasn't as much for them to do. They had to turn to their local governments to find jobs as guards or find some other means of employment. And after the unification of Japan in the 17th century, ninjas faded into figures of legend and lore, though they still have a place in pop culture today. Ninjas used an assortment of tools and weaponry, including but not limited to grappling hooks, spiked or hooked climbing gear worn on the hands and feet, darts, throwing stars, the chain and sickle, and the ninja weapon of choice, the katana, a well-known Japanese sword with a curved blade. To celebrate International Ninja Day, you can practice your ninja skills. Or you can check out a book or a DVD about ninjas. We've got plenty of items available featuring both real and fictional ninjas. Happy International Ninja Day, everybody! Go practice your ninja skills.